Cause number 14, the state of Gregory Dean Richardson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarah Rothier. I'm the attorney for the applicant, Valerie Painter.
Good morning. Anybody that's going to testify, please raise your right hand so we can swear you in.
And Valerie, you're on mute. Sorry.
Okay.
Anybody else going to testify?
No,
This morning?
no, Your Honor.
Okay, what about the other cases? Travis?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you may proceed, Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Painter, please state your full name for the record.
Valerie Lene Painter, formerly known as Valerie Lene Richardson.
Thank you. And Ms. Painter, will you tell the court your relationship to Gregory Dean Richardson, the decedent?
I'm his daughter.
And your father died on October 23rd, 2024 in Houston, Texas at the age of 64. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so 4 years have not elapsed since his death, correct?
Correct.
And at the time of your father's death, he had a fixed residence and lived in Chambers County, correct?
Correct.
And he owned property in excess of $50,000, correct?
Correct.
And your father left a valid will dated May 16th, 2024, and that was never revoked. Is that your understanding?
Correct.
And a copy of the will was filed with the court, and you have a file marked copy in front of you, correct?
Yes.
And do you recognize the signature on that document to be your father's signature?
I do.
Thank you. Your Honor, we do ask the court to take judicial notice that the original will is on file with the court. Thank you. Ms. Painter, an assessee exists for the administration of your father's estate. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And after the date of the will, no child was born or adopted by your father, correct?
Correct.
And after the date of the will, no marriage was dissolved. Is that true?
Correct.
And your father's will names you to serve as independent executor. Is that correct?
Correct.
And we previously discussed qualifications, and you are qualified and not disqualified by law from serving as executor or accepting letters testamentary, correct?
Correct.
You do not have any felony convictions. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I do not.
Thank you. And you reside in Chambers County, Texas as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And your father's will does not name the state, a governmental agency of the state, or a charitable organization as a devisee under his will. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the will was made self-proved in the manner required by law?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, we do request that the will be admitted to probate, that letters testamentary be issued to Valerie Lene Painter, and further, this is a non-taxable estate, and we'd ask that you waive appraisal.
Oh, no. Thank you, Counselor. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, cause number 15, the state of Wanda Gale Underwood. No. Mr. Call, good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
And you may proceed.
Thank you, sir. Your name is Jacob Grant Knoll, is that correct?
Correct.
And your mother was Wanda Gale Underwood Knoll?
Correct.
She passed away on December the 20th of last year.
Correct.
And she had her fixed place of residence in Chambers County on the day she passed away?
Correct.
And we filed the original of her last will and testament with the court. Is that correct?
Yes.
You recognize this copy of what we filed.
Right.
And you recognize her signature on the will.
Yes. That's correct.
Okay. And so far as you know, she never amended or revoked that will.
That's correct.
Okay. And she didn't leave anything to any charities or governmental entities or anything like that.
None.
And she didn't have any children born to her, adopted to her after the date of the will.
No.
She didn't get divorced after the date of the
No.
will. And the will named you to be the independent executor.
That's correct.
And you're not disqualified in any way from serving as an independent executor.
No.
And you're here today asking that the court approve your application to probate her will and appoint you as the independent executor.
That's correct.
That's all I have, Judge.
Admit the will to probate and authorize letters. Thank you,
Thank you,
Counselor.
Judge.
Good day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, cause number 102, the state of Robert Wayne Langston. Miss Lane. You're muted, ma'am. Still muted.
Judge, can you hear me?
We can hear you now. You may proceed.
Okay, Your Honor, I have with me, I don't know if Marilyn, the sister, appeared by Zoom or not.
Don't see
Oh,
anybody on.
Carolyn. Your Honor, I have two witnesses with me, just if you want to, that I want to introduce for this motion. I have Desiree Langston and a potential buyer of the real property, Miss Aviles.
Marangela said the sister couldn't make the link work. I don't, um,
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know. She was just trying to get on to listen or,
Yes, sir. If you'll allow me, I can try and help her if that's okay.
okay.
Yeah. I'm sending it.
So did y'all email him the pictures of the trailer?
Yes, Chris did. I don't know if he got them, but I'll let him know that we emailed him. Because he's in court.
Well, we can't hear him.
Oh, he's waiting for her to get on. He's not gonna say anything till she gets on. He's on mute. I'm gonna send him a report anyways. I usually send a report where I get your name, house address, and all this for him to confirm who approves the sale. And it will all be in order for a title company if you have your service overdoing. In order, approving sale, report confirming sale, and then there's a third one. And I had to prepare a little contract for you to show the court that, and I'll do it today.
Judge, just a quick update. I have her on the line. We're trying to connect her.
Thank you, Matt.
Now I use the word insolvent. What does insolvent mean? It means you have more debt than you have assets. So if I ask you a question, is this estate insolvent? That means the mobile home is debt is worth more than the 20,000 and the value of the mobile home now, right? So you can honestly say, yes, it is insolvent. Okay. He's trying to help us get this thing ended.
We see her whatever section. I'm nervous and I have no idea what I'm for. See her? Yeah. Can you let her know that she's there? Right there, Aubrey. Looks like Carolyn anyway.
Yes, that's the sister that's on. Is that correct, Miss Lane?
Is that your sister?
Yeah, it looks like.
Yes, sir. That's her. Yes, Your
What's
Honor.
your name,
That's
ma'am?
Carolyn. Carolyn.
Okay. All right. We go ahead and introduce who you have with you again. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, sir. I have the dependent administrator, Desiree Langston, and the potential buyer of the real property only. The mobile home is separate personal property, Your Honor, and that is Miss Daisy Aviles, and she's right here.
Okay. You got any testimony you want to put on?
Yes, sir.
You may proceed.
Oh, okay. Okay, Your Honor. I'll start with Desiree, Langston. Miss Langston, do you?
I don't know that we swore her in, so
Yeah, I was fixing to say, Your Honor, I think we
if
need
you'll
to.
raise your
swear
right
in.
hand, please.
Yeah, okay. And you too, Miss Evans.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, now you may proceed.
Okay. Yes, sir. I have before the court an application to sell real property. And my clerk, Your Honor, I would like to know that if the court orders the sale, I will follow up with a report of sale for the court with all exhibits attached to confirm, and then later a decree of sale, just so you'll know, Your Honor. But at this time, I'd like to call Miss Desiree Langston.
You may proceed.
Miss Langston, you were appointed the dependent administratrix.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you started this case, you worked at Brookshire's grocery store, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And everything paid for me, for the attorney ad litem, for filing fees, everything has come out of your pocket.
Yes, ma'am.
No money was in the estate when your dad died.
No, ma'am.
Now you have a second job, are you now a security guard at night?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, of these funds, you have never been reimbursed from the estate.
No, ma'am.
Now, on top of that, there's some lots, and they're lots 8. Let's see, there are lots 8, 9, 8 and 9, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know the address of the property?
317 South 3rd Street, Stoll, Texas.
Now we have a real situation here. On this is a mobile home,
Yes, ma'am.
and it had a secured lien.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is with this company I've spoken with, that in their lien, you could not continually pay the note out of your own pocket and then live in your own place, right?
Correct.
But you have a sister named Caroline who is present today.
Yes, ma'am.
And Caroline has been in the past communicating with them, to your understanding.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we have the mobile home has deteriorated.
Yes, ma'am.
And to our understanding, y'all have been served that there is now foreclosure on the lien.
Yes, ma'am.
And in that lien, it is our understanding they are preparing a writ of possession through the sheriff to come get that mobile home.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the mobile home is not attached as part of the land. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Any funds we get from the buyer for the land goes into the registry of the court.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is where we could petition the court to reimburse our proof of your out-of-pocket expenses,
Yes, ma'am.
like class 2 claims. Now, you have a buyer to present to the court today.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And her name is Miss Daisy Aviles.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have the appraised value of the property, which is in bad condition with the mobile home, is about 19,000 something.
Yes, ma'am.
But they're willing to pay 20,000 cash.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have one of the buyers present to tell the court that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That will go in the registry of the court.
Yes, ma'am.
We're told, have we been admonished by the mobile home place that anyone living in it, when the sheriff appears, better have their stuff out of it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did they tell us if they don't, they're going to put the stuff on the street curb?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there personal items in that mobile home from the pictures that
yes,
we
yes,
have?
Yes, ma'am.
So we need you want Caroline to know they're coming to take the mobile home because we haven't paid the debt.
That's correct,
And they're fixed to put her stuff on the street.
ma'am.
And you want to be paid back all that money you worked to pay for all this, to do this.
Yes, ma'am.
And y'all realize that there may not be anything else.
I realize that.
So, at this time, you have a buyer that's offering 20,000, and they live next door. That's why they're so
Yes,
interested.
ma'am. They're right on the corner.
They're
I
adjacent,
have
and
something to say.
this allows them to pay for that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I passed the witness. If you have any questions, Your Honor.
No, ma'am, no questions. You can call your next witness.
Okay.
I have
Is that
something to
what-
say.
Hold on
Uh,
a minute, ma'am, and I'll give you,
Okay.
Yes, Miss Caroline, I will call you after I speak with this witness. I should have thought of you to have you sworn in. I'll talk.
we'll
I'll
swear
call
in for you when you get ready to call her.
Okay, okay. Miss Stacy. Can you state your full name for the court?
Hello, I'm Daisy Aviles.
And Miss Aviles, do you and your husband own land adjacent to this property?
Yes.
Are you aware there is a mobile home stuck in the middle of it that's about to be repossessed?
Yes.
But we have shown you title and that there was a release of lien, meaning there's no lien on this property.
Yes.
Are you, and you want to, do you have concerns about some of the traffic and the trash and that was on the property?
Yes.
And y'all want your neighborhood cleaned up?
Yes.
And you want to have the opportunity to extend your boundaries to include this piece that when that mobile home's repossessed, you can put one of your own on it.
Yes.
So, do you realize that the appraised value by the county is 19 and you're paying a tad bit more,
Yes.
but you're still willing to bring to the court, which means you got to pay the county clerk that 20,000.
Yes.
And then that 20,000, you're getting it as is.
Yes.
Now there is 380, I think, $7 owed on back taxes, but we agreed that we're going to petition the court to pay that out of the 20,000 when it goes into the court.
Yes.
And that if the court approves this order to sell and we present a contract, like I'll prepare one that shows you're paying cash, you're getting it as is, and the taxes will come out of the registry of the court. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
And that you're representing your husband's also willing to do that?
Yes.
That means that you may get that property, and I don't know how long it's going to take the writ to remove that mobile home.
Yes.
But you understand that.
Yes.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Questions, counsel?
At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to call Miss Caroline
What's her last name?
More.
Moore. Miss Caroline Moore.
All right, raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may proceed, counsel.
Miss Moore, did you hear the testimony of your sister and the buyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you understand that it's out of our hands? They're executing a writ of possession to take that mobile home.
Nope, that's fine. I've been trying to get him to come get it.
Okay.
My
Now,
sister both.
all right. Now, Miss Carolyn, they told me that if you have anything in there, they're coming with the sheriff and they would like you to get your items out or they're gonna leave them out on the street.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Do you have any questions for me?
Well, no, not for you. I just have something to say. You know,
Okay.
my sister was able to retain you because she had the money from my dad's account. Okay. Yes, she even acknowledges that I should have been on that account too, but I was stuck in Crockett. Okay. So she's not out all that money. That came from my daddy's account, you know. And so, her wanting to sell the land, the land was the only thing I wanted. She knew that. We agreed on that.
Miss Caroline, do you realize there's two of you?
Yes, ma'am. And there's two
And
lots.
your
Why
sister.
can't she sell one lot and I keep one lot? I've said that I'm trying to do that. There's two lots. There's two of us.
Well, we're asking the court to sell it because we have debt that we're obligated to pay. And
I
there's
know
nothing.
my sister is most worried about getting money back for her. Okay, which most of that money comes from my daddy's account. So
Well, Miss Carolyn, and I'll readdress that, but Miss Carolyn, that's going into the bank of the court. We can't get anything out without a court order. And so if we petition the court to reimburse, and I will clarify with my client. Was there a bank account?
Yeah, but I was over that bank account.
Oh, okay, now were you the beneficiary of the bank account?
I don't know what you call it. He signed a paper where I could pay all his bills that account went to me.
Oh, were you it's meaning, Your Honor, I'll have to clarify whether she was a beneficiary of that account or just a signer for the
she
court
was
for
she was on the
reimbursement.
account.
Hold on, let counselor finish.
I will clarify, Your Honor, whether she was beneficiary of that account, because that is a point, or just a signer for reimbursement.
Okay,
If the funds were in that account and my client, which I didn't realize, paid it out, or I do know she paid a lot out of what we got, but I don't know if that's because he died. It was a non-probate asset and she got the funds and wrote a check out of a new account. I will make sure that that's above board.
okay. So you'll do that before we distribute any funds.
Yeah, because it will go into the court's registry. Then I will present to the court whether it was from a signer account or if when he died, she got the money and then she used it to pay. So that might mean if she was the beneficiary, she's still paid. I don't know, but if she's just a signer, that's different.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
But we do need to sell.
No,
My
yes, ma'am.
thing, my thing is I'm disabled. I have no income. I don't have anywhere to go. I mean,
I
this is
understand,
my
Miss
home.
Caroline. But remember, Miss Caroline, we started this in November of 2023.
Yes.
We're now in 2025.
No, we
And,
started this in 24. Oh,
well,
yes, ma'am. 22,
yeah,
yes, ma'am.
it was in November 14th of 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been a year and several months. And we did want you to be able to do that, but it's just not working out.
And I've been kept in the dark about everything. I mean, like I said, I didn't even know the lien was off the land. I didn't even, I mean, I've been kept in the dark about everything
Well,
up until like the day of.
Well, I don't think that is just something that I pulled from the deed records that to make sure title was clean for the buyer, which means your dad paid that off way before he died.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yes.
new thing.
Yes,
Counselor,
no,
On the land.
is she a beneficiary once it's sold? Will she get a portion of the estate?
Yes, sir. And my only concern, I feel sorry for them, is what if that mobile home comes against us for the difference? She's entitled to half of whatever's left. But
Or
my
half the
client,
debt?
yeah, no. Um, it's a sad case.
I know. Okay, but bottom line is we need to sell property, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna approve
we
the
don't,
order of the sale of the real property. Okay, nothing further to come before the court. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.